How dare you show your back to me? Slave!
Will you remove your helmet and tell me your name?
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance, in this life or the next.
There was a moment in my life where I had to confront my enemy, which was my own self, like the inner enemy within me, which is, I feel, the greatest enemy that we all have. It's like that feeling of, those limiting beliefs that I had, the self-doubt, that enemy that was keeping me from living another life and reaching my full potential. I feel like when he confronted his greatest enemy, the one that took everything from him, it was a moment when I was able to connect with, as far as I had to do the same thing, so to speak, but in my own way, with my own self, and that enemy being the other side in the mirror. When I'm like going to speak and I'm on stage and there's like, 200-300 people, I always play that scene in my head because I'm like, I'm confronting the mob. I'm confronting those that 15 years ago would have convicted me on the stand and put me away for the rest of my life, right? So now I'm here and I'm very open about my past and my experiences and my failures and setbacks, and now my successes. I'm like helping to shift their way of thinking, right? Like how Maximus did with the mob. Like they shifted their way of thinking. But for me, when I took the mask off, it was like when I was in prison and I decided to change my life around. And I knew that the hardest thing for me to do wasn't to tell everybody else on the prison yard or the people that I talked to that I was going to do it. It was to convince myself that I was able to do it. And so the enemy, the commodus within me, kept trying to keep me from changing with temptations and all kind of things that started to happen as I started to change. And so when I one day, and it was like a specific day, and I really just made the decision to change my life. And I feel like we all have that moment. Like for me, it was a day, but everybody has that moment when you just like set something and you stick to it. Like I'm going to stop drinking or I'm going to stop smoking, and then that's it, you're done. That was the mindset for me. And that was that moment, like Commodus and Maximus moment, where I basically said it to myself, and then I never looked back. So it happened in prison.
All right. And let's jump to the beginning of the movie, right? Where soon as it opened up, they are already in the midst of their last battle.
Yeah.
And Maximus told his soldiers that 3 weeks from now, I'm gonna be harvesting my crops. Imagine where you would be, and it'll be so.
Yeah.
So when I see that, what all prisons you been to?
I've been to 5 different prisons.
Which ones?
Okay, so I've been to Corcoran, I've been to Kern Valley, I was in Centinela, I was in Folsom, and then I was in Wasco. Yeah.
Most of his time on a level 4.
Yeah.
That says something. I'm not just talking about prison. I'm talking about the level 4. That's considered Gladiator school. Now we're talking about the movie Gladiator. So when he say that to his soldiers, to make it through that war zone, often many of us have to have images in our mind of what waits for us on the other side of that wall, so that we can endure the bullshit and make it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That keeps us sane. It keeps us focused on the forward mission. So for you, what was the visions that you held in mind that kept you going and kept you focused?
Yeah, it's similar, like envisioning moments like this, like envisioning things that I wanted to have in life. And not even just things that I wanted, but the feelings that came with, that associated with those things. And a lot of that was me using my imagination, but it was also me learning and like reading and studying and asking questions, because I hadn't really been like exposed to all the stuff that I'm doing now. It was just like hearing other people do it through reading books, hearing things, watching stuff. But I knew that I wanted to feel happy. I wanted to feel successful. I wanted to know what it felt like to be able to take care of the people I love. And so I held on to those feelings and visions no matter where I went, right? And that was like that, like in the movie, when he inspired his army to do that, like visualize the outcome, right? Just focus on that. So you've already been through all the training that you need to survive. It's instinctive now. So you don't need to focus on that because you're so well ready and prepared for war that it's going to come natural to you in the moment.
Right.
And so like when I was in prison, that was the thing. Like I already knew that I was mentally equipped to handle it, right? So now I just, and I knew physically that all I needed to do was just like learn how to, make a knife, keep working out. But it was like, okay, I could do all that. I know I could do that. That's the easy part. The hard part is like making sure that I don't get to a point where I start saying I'm going to the house like so many people in prison do.
Right.
Like I used to have conversations with people and they would treat that place like their home. They would design it like their home. They would shine the sinks so that they could look at it and, like it's a mirror. And for me, like I just always had to maintain the idea that this is not my home. This is just another stepping stone before I get there and envision that. Because if not, then I would become complacent there and stuck there. And then that would be my home in existence.
Right.
So yeah, I think that that's a powerful thing about envisioning where you want to go and just focusing on that and trusting your instincts to get you through the challenges that are coming.
Right.
So
definitely. And in the movie, they touch on various themes of legacy and honor. It's not so much about dying. They understand that's going to come, but it's how I die. Mm-hmm. It's what I'm remembered for.
Yeah.
So us in this real world, knowing that we're going to die, and eventually it's inevitable, like, what do you want to be remembered for once you're gone? Yeah.
Well, I just want to be remembered for creating my biggest impact. Creating whatever impact that I leave behind. That's all I want to be remembered for, creating a good impact. And I don't know how big that will be. And I don't ever think on like I need to leave an impact like another person that's already done it, because the impact that I leave is going to be far greater than could ever be measured. Because if you impact one person, you impact 1,000.
Right.
So if I've already impacted, let's just say 100 people in some way, who knows what that equals up to, right?
Right.
And then the growth is exponential. So then that person impacts another and it goes on. So there's no way to measure that. Right. So the way that I want to be remembered is just somebody who made a great impact. Right. And then through the companies that I start, the brands that I build, all of the content that I create, right? Everything that I leave behind could be something for somebody else that I may never meet to gain something from, like I did when I read all those books in prison. Right. Like from people who've been like Marcus Aurelius, in his book,
right.
Meditations, is like, he wrote that book and he didn't think that one day Carlos Vasquez was going to pick up that book and read it and gain something from it. Like, it's so far beyond our way of thinking. So I don't know what I'm going to create in this world as far as impact. Right. But I know before I leave, I'm going to create as much as I can in products, services, companies, and everything that I do. From when I wake up, I go to sleep, my whole mission is to create impact.
Right.
So whatever that means, through film, anything and is something that I feel like is calling me, I'm going to do it.
Right. Definitely. Like, how did you define what a warrior is today?
Yeah. Well, first I'll say that I'm still in the Coliseum.
All right.
Like, I've never left. Once I put myself in there mentally, like, that's a lifetime place for me. Right. Because in business, it's a Coliseum. Business is the same. It's another war.
Right.
Prison was one battle. Business is another battle. Right. Everything I look at is a battle.
Right.
Right. That's like, I wake up in the morning and I'm going to battle.
Right.
I'm going to battle with the voices in my head that's telling me that I can't do something, with the voices in my head that's telling me to stay in bed and not get up, with the voices in my head that's telling me that I should quit, right? And then and that's not including the external things, like waking up, getting a call, and just starting my morning off bad because I'm dealing with somebody else's problems, or I made a wrong move investing in the business, and I'm losing. Like every day is a battle, and so like I'm in the Coliseum, I'm still thriving there, and that's the point. Is that like I love it. Like for me, battling with life, it gives me meaning, it gives me purpose, because life is hard. So, and life is a battle no matter what. If you're at the top, the bottom, prison, wherever you're at, you're going to have to battle through it. And so for me, it's always about becoming a better warrior. Like I can always get better as a warrior. Right. And so back in the old day, for me, a warrior is different than what it is today for me. So back in the old day, I used to think a warrior was somebody who just hurt people physically, right? Like you're on the yard and you hurt people and you're active and, you're stabbing people. I was looking up to people who already had like stripes from stabbing people and all these things. To me, that was like a warrior. But as I learned and I grew, I started to understand like the power of the mind and understand that the greatest warriors know how to use their mind more than anything. And so like, once I learned that, I was able to navigate through prison, survive prison, and then get out of prison early because I realized that I'm not the biggest dude. I'm not the meanest looking dude in prison. You guys, know that. So it's like, there's some ugly looking dudes in there. But the one thing I always had was a mind that was like able to navigate through there. So once I redefined it as a warrior is somebody who is able to get up every single day and be able to conquer the internal battles that are going on within them. And in doing so, it makes the outer ones a lot easier. And so it's like understanding that no matter where I'm at in life, I just got to conquer myself. I'm in the hole. Okay, that's a bad situation. But the only reason why it's a bad situation is because I told myself it is, and I believe it is. That's the internal battle. But if I say, this is actually an opportunity for me to grow, to take time to reflect, and to treat this like my Shaolin temple, now it becomes a positive thing.